Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hearthstone Battlegrounds Lobby Legends Hollow's End. My name is CJ, joined by Sottle once again, and it's time to jump into our third game of Lobby A. And Sottle, you're doing pretty well today. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I mean, my entire career has just been searching for validation from you specifically, TJ. So hearing you say that makes it feel like it's all been worth it.
That's all I'm gonna say. I had to do that through gritted teeth.
TJ's actually shut down. You guys have no idea, low-key, how competitive TJ gets, specifically with me as well. So this is going very, very painful for TJ at the moment. I think for the sake of the broadcast, you should all root for TJ's picks for the rest of the game, because if he doesn't start climbing back into this, I think we're going to have a very, very hard, very awkward time for the rest of this broadcast.
Yeah. I'm not competitive at all. I'm just here for fun. At least that's what I tell myself.
Yeah, your actions seem to betray something different, though, TJ. However, we are dealing with 8 players who are phenomenally competitive. Kurt here, good player to look at first, because Kurt is currently sat in 4th position. So if Kurt can pick up another middling result, it probably means he banks that 4th, 3rd kind of position overall in the game. And I think that is why we see him moving towards that Cthulhu once again, trying to shoot for that middle of the pack finish.
Yep. And I think I'm going to deviate from my Instacurt bandwagon with the Cthulhu pick.
TJ,
again.
I don't even have to pick turn 1 anymore. I can wait. My job's done.
Yeah, well, I'm still going to pick turn 1.
I've rewarded the believers.
Yeah, I picked turn 1. I picked Senior Held.
Okay, I'm down.
Just because Senior Held's in a position where it's 1st or 8th, right? Has to go big because it's currently last in points and needs at least 6 even to just overtake the current 4th. So needs a win to even have a chance. How dare you? You're just going to do this every time.
This is called defending a lead, TJ. Wait, what's happened here? Wait, Senior Held may have an issue, because Senior Held is still on 1. Which Senior Held should not be.
Oh, well, joke's on you, Sottle.
Well, we can still change. We can change as often as we like. Yeah, looks like Senior Held had some DC issues, may have missed turn 1, which is a significant problem for the Lich Curve in general. That is a huge, huge problem. You still believe, TJ?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Still believe.
Okay.
I believe in life after love.
We know what Oliek's first starting quest is.
No. I was too busy seething at the fact that you're just going to pick the same bandwagon as me from here on out.
It's okay, Slimy.
All right, good. Tavern 2 shop to hit. Didn't get an economy minion on turn 1. Which means hitting Tad there is pretty ideal in terms of maximizing board power on turn 3.
Yep. Not too bad. Obviously, the Whelp is not going to be doing much, but at least it's the 3rd minion, right? So. Looking at the rest, stay with the Gale Wing, but did not go 3 on 3. Unless it just hasn't updated yet?
Doesn't look like it, no. Must have been offered a very appealing looking Tavern 2 shop, which can happen.
Yeah.
Patient Scout, looks like. Yep.
Okay. We're just going to get the 2, so not as big of a spike, but obviously that just can be made up for with the scout. So not really that big of a detriment. And now gets just the clean, has a board plus can double buy and get the discover just on a 2 instead. Ooh, went with selfless. Okay.
Four battle cries for hidden body. Murloc's in. Has to be a consideration.
Yeah.
Summon 10, minion in hand, Tad in shop for smoking gun. Beast's mechs out, however, which makes smoking gun far less attractive. This is the Murloc lobby, by the way, on that note.
I'm not sure. Because another hidden body is obviously the most powerful, but play 4 Battlecry minions, unless you specifically go Murlocs, it's not going to do anything. And forcing like that can be difficult.
There's also just tournament state considerations, right? Where similar to Kurt, Say is currently in 3rd place overall with 9 points. Closest competitor from outside of the top 4 is Trickster and Tutu on 6. So if you can just pick up a 4th to 5th kind of position, you probably fancy your chances of getting top 4 from here. Which maybe leans you towards even like Tiny Henchman, for example, over going for another hidden body.
Sure, yeah. Oh, no.
Selfless hero patient scout. You'd love to see it. Okay.
Still worked out.
Yep. Picks up the win.
Picture on the Kael'thas.
Little bit awkward here. You would like to buy the Tad, but it doesn't really fit A, the curve, or B, the hero power activation. It is probably just War Leader and level, unless your quest is saying something different.
Yeah.
Trickster has spent 25 gold.
Which Tad does.
Oh, for Xerus, okay.
But
spending 4 more here for 13, so you'd then have 12 remaining. If you spend 5 more here instead, then you have 11 remaining, which is then much more completable next turn. 10 remaining, in fact, right? So you have 10 gold to spend, 10 gold to complete with 8 gold to spend, which is very achievable next turn. So yeah, I actually like this. Staying down 1 turn actually makes this very completable next turn. I think this is well calculated from Trickster.
oh, geez, it's senior held. Oh no.
Yeah,
that's brutal.
It is.
With Ledge, if you're taking this much damage this early, there's not much way to come back. Unfortunate for senior held, who had the DC issues on turn 1 with a very early game focused. I mean, at this point in competition, like if you miss a turn or even a partial turn early on in the game,
oh, you're done. Yeah,
you're done. Yeah.
We both continue to believe, I don't know, it felt kind of shady to change the pick at that point after the DC, even though we could have done, so we both stuck it out with senior held, but yeah.
Wait,
did you change?
I did, in private. You sucker.
All right.
Now it's too late.
I see how it's going to be. Who did you pick?
Let me just double check. Say. Turn 2.
Okay.
So I swapped instantaneously.
All right. I see how it's going to be. You want to play it like this? That's fine.
I do. I do want to play it like that. So whatever you see in the group chat of me picking my bandwagon pick, you don't even know for sure if that's what I'm picking.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
What? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm not triggered.
What is going on here? Smoking Gun, Teal Tiger, Sapphire.
Yeah, Smoking Gun Sapphire is a little bit of a strange combination. Doesn't have any kind of Ghastly Mask setup, which is normally what you have when you see this kind of Dragon board coming together. But for now, at least, is just kind of getting carried by the power of Smoking Gun. Will be winning fights for the next couple of turns, basically purely off the back of that quest.
Yeah. I mean, just pick 2 that are easy to complete, right? That offer some form of tempo. That makes sense. Ooh, Senior Herald 1.
Imagine.
Completed the Victim Spectre. Scaling up. Imagine if I still lose. Imagine if Senior Herald somehow miraculously comes back and wins this game. Imagine. Egg on my face. In a way, I want that to happen.
Looks like Oliek is going to hold here, going to grow greed for a 6. Looking at Oliek's position, he is currently in 7th on 4 points, only a Senior Herald below him, so this makes sense, right? I talked earlier, with the first couple of games of the lobby are going to be the more normal-looking games, when I said like players don't tend to do this too much in the current metagame. Greed, freeze, level to 4, level to 5, take a 6. Doesn't tend to happen that often. However, when there's only 1 game left in the lobby, and you're on 4 points, and you have to overtake a player who bare minimum has 8 right now, it's the kind of thing you're going to have to do.
Look at this, Sottle.
All right, looking pretty good.
Got a Peggy, Ball of Minions, and a Brute.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good, honestly, if Say won this lobby, considering he's in my fantasy team and not in yours. That'd be fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
A very dumb choice for your bad luck.
I mean, like, you only get 1 choice. And it was, that's one thing that I've done for as long as I can remember is, when I'm in doubt, I just copy you. You can't blame me for that.
No, you're right. I can't. Valid strategy. And Senior Herald is gone. Unfortunate ending. That means that he is going to finish on 2.5 points overall here.
Yeah, pretty rough. Pretty rough.
Yep. Commiserations, of course, not the way anyone wants to see anyone's tournament ending with that disconnect on turn 1, but unfortunate circumstances, and we must continue. The show must go on. We move on to Oliek, who is back on this slightly strange combination of quests with the Sapphire and the Smoking Gun, and now is going to find a way to make this 6-drop happen, I presume. Buy-sell Gambler. So you have the Strong Arm in hand. No reason not to.
This is a very interesting choice, especially given Oliek's current board. None of these have any particular synergy with what he's got going on. But to be honest, I don't even know what 6-drop would with this.
Well, he has a Scally.
Okay.
Which does make the Eliza at least somewhat tempting, yeah. But I would imagine Nadina would have been the go-to there immediately, just for the straight-up... If you get Nadina, you can just go to 6 next turn, right? And then the world is your oyster. You can figure out what you're doing on 6 from that point. You're just so powerful with the Nadina.
Not a good selfless. Is what it is.
Oof. Huge value trade on the Eliza from the Ball of Minions, and then Divine Shield basically taking down the second biggest minion. This is not looking great, although that has cleaned things up nicely. And now if this can go right, it does. Solviek picks up a trade, snatching a tie out of the jaws of defeat at the end there. Very nice. Good amount of protected health.
Yep.
Ooh, Xerus into a gambler. Nice.
This is quite a cool board, actually. Got the double Peggy going on. Now the ball of minions in there.
Mm-hmm. I think would love a Peggy triple at this point. Sometimes Peggy triples are a downside because you don't then have a third pirate. Like sometimes you just have two Peggys that are buffing each other. But finding Golden Peggy here would mean that every single buff is then guaranteed to go on the ball of minions, which you can then cash out into selling onto something else later in the game.
Ooh.
Okay, Zhanyu's turn, I would imagine next turn to go looking for that Nadina triple, or triple into a Nadina, I should say.
Yep.
Does already have the one permanent Divine Shield on this Golden Taragosa, as it will be next turn. But Nadina still offering an enormous amount of instant power. So it's just big.
Real big. Minion does have some decent scaling potential. Taragosa Proto Drake, but it is like capped.
Mm-hmm.
Still a chunk, but that's the first damage Jindu's taken this game, so should be still fine. Kurt is hanging on by a thread. Oh, there we go.
Golden Hammer on Hogger as well, meaning that Kurt only needs 2 Hoggers to go infinite total here, which is massive. Thank you, Lorinda, for letting us know the Tarek triple did not find the Nadina. But let's absolutely stay focused here for at least this turn, see if Kurt can find this 4th Hogger. I believe it was Kurt in game 1, right, who was looking for Hogger number 4 and never quite found it, was just a little bit shy of being infinite the entire time. And I believe that was also on Cthulhu, if my memory serves me correct.
It was.
Yeah.
Kurt's just a Cthulhu pirate gamer.
Yeah, you know, you just pick Cthulhu and go Pirates. Like, Cthulhu Pirates is sick. It's just one of those nonsensical things. There was a thing that Lorinda used to say. Was it like Zyrella? No, it was Zyrella Pirates, right? Is that what Lorinda used to... He can confirm. Was that the thing? It's like Lorinda's Zyrella is good with Pirates, and I never really understood what the point was. Yeah, they're confirming that that is indeed the thing. I still don't understand why.
Oh, you know who's good with Pirates?
Kurt.
Patches.
Ah, yeah, no, good one. Good point, yeah. That high-level Battlegrounds knowledge coming through again, TJ.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, Lorinda, if you could be so kind, considering this is the Murloc lobby, does anyone actually have the Murlocs? And as if they are living deep inside my brain, we go to Tatu immediately, who is setting up the kind of board that you want to be playing.
Yep. Does have an ice block up. Got a splitting image here. Is that a Bran? Bran. Rip. Well, that's unfortunate.
And so it's going to be a matter of how many of these poisons can survive. Be able to deal. Okay, that's not great. There's going to be a loss here regardless. Going to be an ice block going down here regardless. And Tatu has to have a favorable matchup here, I would say, because he's still a turn or 2 away from having a fully fleshed out, robust kind of setup. On Kurt again! Just 1 Hoggar short of the Pirate Dream. Has bit the dust once more. And that's huge.
Last time with Cthulhu as well, where hit it just started hitting. Wait, what?
Okay, real quick. The Kurt death is huge for the rest of the lobby because Kurt was the player on the bubble. Kurt was in 4th, which is the cutoff for going through to the finals lobby tomorrow. So Kurt now finishes on 9 points total, which is now a stationary target for everyone else to try and shoot for. Obviously, that's not necessarily a guarantee because multiple players could overtake that, but you at least have some idea of what you're doing. Secondly, where I have no idea what you're doing is Golden Tortolan Blue Shell. Not a situation I've found myself in.
I've literally never seen it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's 10 gold, right?
It is 10 gold, yeah.
Okay. Patches was good with pirates.
We're going over to special analysis from TJ Sanders. Patches is good with pirates. Thanks, TJ.
Golden Tortolan Blue Shell is 10 gold.
I like where Trickster's head is at here. Looks to be starting to pick up some minions to transition into, right? Eventually you're going to want something. You're going to want a majority of Cleaves and Divine Shield minions on your board, so you can potentially dump this Ball of Minion stat somewhere meaningful. Does currently have the Divine Shield Dragon putting the Divine Shield on the Ball of Minions, which makes it somewhat relevant right now.
I was going to say, there's a small possibility for... Oh, no, it wasn't. It would have needed one more revenge for the double Golden Eliza. But did get one from the Tony. So.
Oh, and Tatu did not find the matchup needed. As I said, you can still see that board just a turn or two away from being a full Poison Murloc setup, get to the point where you're then just buying Divine Shields when you have Poison and everything, and you are mostly set in most scenarios. Tatu just could not find the leeway needed to get there.
Yep. And now taking a look at Kun King, this is when...
Stop! No, look, I can't pick Barrel's Blessing in this situation because I'm too busy looking at Golden Tortolan every single roll. Like, what am I supposed to do? Stop rolling Golden Blue Shell. I need to think.
Waiting to see if a Khadgar's hit. Oh, a Khadgar's in the hand. Okay.
Yeah, there's a Khadgar in the hand. It doesn't necessarily make the board state here, though. Because you're not done with the Tony just yet, right? Like, ideally, you would want that second Eliza.
Yeah.
There's also the temptation at some point for Oliek to just throw some fights so he can actually get 10 gold back from this Tortolan, these blue shells that he has in hand, which is a little bit worrying when you're making this pick. Like, that's a real thing, I'm just saying. That's a thing that you might consider doing. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, we both went with Oliek.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like enough raw stats.
Yeah, the problem is the lack of taunts, which makes it a little bit sketchy overall.
Uh-oh. Okay, fine. Oh, fine. Okay. That's ideal, actually. I was worried that the Divine Shield was actually going to go on the Scallywag and he would get resets.
Oh, Divine Shield. Yeah, absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, but it looks like we're going to be correct as Oliek should have a nice, smooth victory here and a big chunk of damage going Shenyu's way. So, nicely done. And these blue shells aren't going to be active the rest of the game.
So now you have the board space, right? Because you don't need this Tony anymore. So now you have to start thinking about whether this Khadgar comes into play. But still, because he's on Golden Selfless, this is kind of a variation of this build that is a little bit less common. Because you have a board space allocated to the Golden Selfless, because you have double Golden Eliza, big stats, Divine Shield, Baron, etc. anyway. like, this is now the pivot point, right? Do you want second Scally plus Khadgar plus everything else, or do you want to stick with the selfless build, having less minions on board? You do still have the dragon that you can throw away as a board space, which gives you a little bit more freedom. Like, just straight up replacing the dragon with the second Scally is more stats on its own, right? If that's the only change that you make to this board.
And Trickster, Golden Peggy available, but it seems like Trickster has been on the same board state for quite a long time, but it is very strong. There's a lot of stats. There's Divine Shields. Haunted Leroy now is selfless. We'll have that Golden Piggy next turn. Still no poisonous, but the stats are big enough right now to where it's not like a super rush. But we'll probably look to that as the game progresses, and then Kun King is...
What is this? Is nothing. Like, what is happening?
Daryl board.
It is very much a Daryl board, yeah. And to be fair, Kun King has 10 points. So having made it to 5th has already improved that to 13, right? Which is going to be a very hard total to not make it. So yeah, picking Daryl, making a bunch of 20/20s and getting 5th seems like a pretty solid plan from Kun King's perspective, really.
Yep. It actually wasn't like that bad of a loss. Like a couple better hits, and that could have been a tie, you know?
I mean, he's dead. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, but I would say that was like, you know, 80%.
Well, 80% lethal?
How's it going out there?
Well, I mean, it was almost always lethal.
Was it low? Was it too low health?
Loss.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at 3.
Okay, yeah.
So it is always lethal.
It's always lethal.
All right. Say has been taking some damage over the past couple turns. This board is also kind of weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of just kind of hodgepodge together boards here, although now Zhang Yu has found the goods. It feels like a couple of players have teased us with us, but this is now truly infinite. Not on this turn, though. Just straight up
like
ran out of gold. Yep, absolutely gross. You have to selfless Baron this, right? Or at least, I suppose, actually just the Nadina, yeah, because you have the poisonous on the ball of minions. Like, you should sell basically everything you can this turn to survive this fight. Because again, you have infinite gold next turn, theoretically, right? So it doesn't matter what you get rid of this turn, you should be able to replace it with things of equal or greater value next turn. So don't worry too much about the Peggy that you had, just get it out there to try and survive the fight. I think all of these decisions from Zhang Yu have been excellent at the end of this turn. Apart from the decision he made to not roll Pirates, which seems pretty amateurish, to be honest.
Yeah. Come on. Well, to say it wasn't like overwhelmingly strong, but still quite powerful. I believe there was a taunted Leroy. Oh, sorry. No, it was not taunted. Left, so it's only going to actually take out the Waller taunt.
Okay, Divine Shield's everywhere. This Leroy is a big deal, though. Okay, poison hitting a Divine Shield, though, is very relevant. However, this 80/80 is going to have to do an enormous amount of work and doesn't. What Tavern tier is that? That's 12 damage total. So Zhang Yu does survive, and that's really all that matters here. Trickster going down in 4th. Let's hang out with Zhang Yu for a turn here, though, and see what he can make of our first theoretical infinite gold situation. There you go. Okay, there's the shot. Get rolling.
Little pirate. There's a pirate. Oh, triple.
What's going on out here?
No scaling right now is the problem. What? How was that an Orgazoa and not a Mantid?
Yes.
Hello?
It's an extra gold. Potentially an extra 2 gold.
You have infinite gold! What you don't have is poisonous minions to win you fights.
All right, it's not infinite gold. It's a lot of gold.
Uh-huh.
Not infinite.
Uh-huh. You are technically correct, which is, as we know, the best kind of correct.
Oh, yeah.
I hate leg day.
All right, finds a
The
Peggy
only
now.
time I'm correct is on the technicality.
Seems to be, unless the animations are significantly ahead of what we are looking at, which I think they actually might be. He seemed to commit with the strong arms ridiculously early from my perspective. But yeah, we haven't actually seen that happen yet. So I think his animations are just significantly desynced from what we're looking at, which is fine, tends to happen.
Yeah, I'd rather be in a position where I get the strong arms out of my hand rather than end the turn with them still in my hand, so.
Finds the brand, grab that Hogger, grab that Uther, grab that Mantid, please. Thank you, thank you. He didn't even use the Orgazoa spellcraft. I'm livid. I'm so angry.
All right, here we go. This is the goods right here. This is Exodia and a half. Just missing the Goldens on the Chad.
Oh, that's a horrible trade, and I think that is going to be over. Oh, wow, 2 big minions left over. I wonder if like an extra poisonous Divine Shield minion could have been relevant on this fight.
Or maybe an Orgazoa.
So we are down to top 2. Say versus Oliek. Oliek on the Exodia Pirate Scam, Scally build. And Say on whatever on earth you want to call this. I mean, Nadina comp, essentially, is what this is.
Yeah. So some text here for Say to be able to beat this does have the white main.
Yep, which is a big deal. However, Beast out, Mechs out, which means no white main cleave potential.
Yeah, but you have like 2 chances, right? Like Khadgar and Baron both have to be. I guess they don't have to be anywhere specific.
Nope, they really don't.
In Pirates, the Pirate Exodia, so
they can be anywhere from
not
3rd to
first.
7th. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Especially with the selfless taunt and the Scallywag having taunt as well on the side of Oliek. This is a very difficult turn to navigate in
yeah, actually,
to where these techs go.
Theoretically, if you did have a selfless taunted and your 2 Scallies taunted, well, actually, no, the selfless is a problem. If you just have 2 taunted Scallies, you could try and put Baron second and get away with it, right? But because of the selfless, if the selfless gets attacked and then the Scallies get Divine Shield, you could then have your Baron attacking before the Scallies actually end up getting blocked. So.
The 1-8 taunt is interesting, hoping that maybe the... Oh. RIP! Oh my gosh. That's like the worst possible outcome to just kick things off.
That was Say's attack though, right? So now Oliek is going, yeah, okay, with the Eliza that gets poisoned. But I believe that is still going to be infinity damage coming through. Oliek is on 6, so all he needs is Eliza plus Baron to survive, and we are way, way past that, which means Oliek is going to be taking this one down. Risky pick with the Denathrius. Bold decision to go for Scally build, the Exodia Pirates, but he does end up picking up the win, and that means Oliek, with a full 7 points on top of the 4 he started this game with, will now go to 11. Not sure what the final standings will look like overall, but he certainly moved past the stationary post that I was talking about, which is Kurt, who went out on 9.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate for Kurt and for me, but and Say didn't win, so even with my shady tactics, I still wasn't able to get a bandwagon pick.
Yeah, so just to be clear, on bandwagon picks, if you pick someone and they do really well, they get into top 2, but then they get second, which is obviously 1 place away from getting first. How relevant is that to bandwagon picks again, TJ?
It's completely relevant.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Just because you get to feel a little bit better the fact that you were that close to earning points.
Okay, fair enough.
But in terms of gaining points, no, not relevant at all.
right, good to know.
Yeah, it's a rough day for those 3 TJ fans out there who are like, I really want TJ to win. Shout out to the 3 of you.
It might be only 3 people that want TJ to win. There's a whole army of people that want Sottle to lose. So they are still on your side by default, you know?
That's true. That's true. All right, there you have it.
Oh, Trickster! The Oliek win! That top 2, the Oliek victory, picking up that 1 additional point. Could have made the difference, although if Oliek had got second, he still would have been ahead on tiebreakers due to a 6-point best individual result being the #1 tiebreaker, so Oliek still would have got there with the 2nd place in the end. But Trickster coming very, very close. Both of those players, Trickster and Oliek, overtaking Kurt, who was in 4th place going into Lobby 3. But there you see your top 4 going through to tomorrow to our final lobby. Zhenyu, Sesase, Kunking, and Oliek.
Yeah, Zhenyu taking 1st place in the group was not what I expected. Kind of quietly earning points. I thought it was going to be Sesase just because maybe recency bias. The last 2 games, Sesase seemed to be dominating. Zhenyu with a half a point up, just with a 5.55, just a really consistent performance to take 1st place. But as we say at the beginning of the broadcast, and as Sato just kind of said now, but not quite as obvious as I'm about to. It doesn't matter if you get 1st or 4th, as long as you make it into that top 4, you go to Sunday and everything's reset. Everything starts over tomorrow once we get into that final lobby. So congratulations to the players that made it, and none of my fantasy picks made it into day 2.
Oh, that's weird. I got 2. I got 2 of my fantasy team in the top 4. That's quite a lot more than 0, actually. If you think about it, isn't it?
Big old goose egg.
Yeah.
Well, not if you multiply it. If you multiply 0 and 2, you get 0. So.
Sure, that's the rules. Yep.
Yeah.
that's what we agreed to.
I'm bringing the ship down with me. I'm gonna take this whole broadcast down. I'll make my own lobby legends.
You might. You've been trying to bring the broadcast down for about 6 seasons of America's Grandmasters, and you haven't succeeded yet. So I have little faith that you'll manage it this time.
In a way, I succeeded.
True, actually.
Like,
good point.
Is there going to be an America's Grandmasters anymore?
You know what, TJ? I concede my point. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, and how many players from North America are competing in the World Championship for Constructed? See, if you think about it like that, I did kind of take it down, all from the inside. All right. Well, that concludes Lobby A, which means we're at our halfway point for the day. Everybody knows how much I love halfway points. We are going to have to go to a little bit of a break, but in that break, we're going to get Lobby B set up, and we still have 3 more games with 8 fresh new players to determine who's going to join the top 4 from this lobby in our final day tomorrow. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. More Lobby Legends right after this.